talk, we will have a session of singing meditation. I would like to ask, please raise your hand if this is the first time you joined a Plum Village retreat. Okay. Yeah. I have a few more people that are coming. Thank you very much. You can put your hand down. So, I would like to share with you a little bit about the practice of singing meditation in Plum Village for those who are new to our Plum Village tradition. So, singing is something that we do almost every day. When you feel happy, feel joyful in your heart, or even when you feel upset, sometimes you would sing to yourself, and when you sing, you somehow generate the energy of joy and happiness while you're singing, and also to ease down the pain or the suffering inside of you. So music is very powerful. It can bring your mood up high or low down your mood. So in Plum Village, we also use music for practicing meditation. We don't use the worldly music, like heartbroken songs or something like that. We try to use the melodies, the music, and the lyrics that can generate the energy of peace, of joy, of mindfulness, of happiness inside of us and everyone around us. The lyrics are not just for singing, but it's also for practicing meditation. Like when you do walking meditation, you may like to apply the song "I have arrived, I am home" with each step you make. When you make one step, you say, "I have arrived." Another step, "I have arrived." Third step, "I am home." Fourth step, "I am home." And you continuously doing like that. And it can generate the energy of mindfulness. It will bring your mind back to your body, back to your steps while you're practicing walking meditation. Or even when you're doing sitting meditation, you can apply the song breathing in, breathing out while you do sitting meditation. Breathing in, breathing out. So because the theme of our retreat is "I have arrived, I am home," so the first song we're going to sing in this retreat is also called "I have arrived, I am home." So please take out your schedule sheet. At the back there's the lyrics, so you can take it out and sing along with the brothers and sisters. If you already know the song, please sing out loud to support us.
In the
Have you arrived yet? Don't worry, if you haven't arrived, there's 3 more days for you to practice. The second song we're going to sing together is called Breathing In, Breathing Out. With this song, there are movements going along with the lyrics. You can look at the sisters here. Yeah, very beautiful models up here. Yeah. And while you're singing this song, you're not just singing with your mouth, but you're also singing with your heart. You're aware of your in-breath and out-breath while you're singing. And you can visualize yourself blooming as a flower, solid as a mountain, still as water, and free as space.
I am free.
Muslim village, instead of clapping hands, we're offering flowers. The third song we're going to sing together is called Happiness is Here Now. This song is not in, it's on a sheet. So the lyrics is, happiness is here now. I've dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do. But I don't need to hurry. So when you sing this song, this is also a meditation. When you sing this song, you know that you can see that happiness is not something far away in a distant future. Happiness is not when you can buy a fancy car, have a big house, a beautiful wife, a husband, high salary job or something. But happiness can be something very simple, like when you know that you are still breathing, which is mean that you are still alive. That is already happiness, condition for happiness. So I would like to invite everyone to sing this song together, and you can recognize the conditions of happiness that are happen right here and right now. Thank you very much for practicing with us. So the singing session is over. We will continue tomorrow, or you will, the facilitators of your Dharma sharing family will organize the singing invitation session during your Dharma sharing session. So now I would like to invite the brothers and sisters to come on stage for chanting before the Dharma talk. Con xin kính mời quý thầy, quý sư cô mình cùng lên phía trên này để bắt đầu tụng kinh trước pháp thoại.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha will chant May the day be well and welcome you.
Quán niệm trước khi tụng kinh. Xin đại chúng trở về với hơi thở và để cho năng lượng chánh niệm tập thể đưa chúng ta về với nhau như một cơ thể, đi như một dòng sông không còn cách biệt. Xin đại chúng tất cả đều thở như một cơ thể, xướng tụng như một cơ thể, lắng nghe như một cơ thể và vượt thoát biên giới ngã chấp, phá bỏ mặc cảm hơn người, thua người và bằng người. Contemplation before chanting. The Sangha is invited to go back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness will bring us together as an organism, flowing as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, chant as one body, listen as one body, transcending the boundaries of a delusive self, liberating ourselves from the superiority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex.
May the day be well and the night be well.
May the midday hour bring happiness to, in every minute and every second. May the day and night be well. By the blessing of the triple gem, may
Good morning, dear Thầy, dear community. Can you hear me well? Okay, this first talk is for the children. I'm very happy to see you already sitting up here, but would you like to come closer and maybe we'll sit in a circle? Come around, come around. How are you guys today? Good? Do you have a good sleep? Yeah? Do you all have breakfast? Yeah? Okay. You ready to play? Okay. They all say yes. They all say yes. But before you go out and play, may I share with you a couple of practices? Is that okay? But let me ask you first, how many of you are here for the first time at Magnolia? All of you? Oh, wow. Is this your first retreat? Okay, how many of you have been to a retreat like this before, but somewhere else? Okay, one or two. Wonderful. Welcome, welcome. So today, this morning, I would like to share with you the practice of listening to the bell. So I have in my hand, this is called a little bell, or a mini bell. All of you have been here since yesterday, right? And you probably heard a lot of sounds at the monastery. Is that right? Could you name some of the sounds that you heard?
The wind.
Sound of the wind.
Cicadas.
Cicadas. Oh, wow.
The bell.
Sound of the bell.
Crickets.
Crickets.
I forgot.
You forgot. It's okay. Anybody else? Any other sounds that you heard while here?
Cicadas and the moon.
The what in the...
Cicadas and the moon, like...
the sound from the moon. Wow. You have very good ears. Anybody else? That's a lot of sounds already, right? Well, we also have a bell here, and this one makes a sound too. Like you said, you've heard the sound of the bell. And if you notice, in the monastery, we have different sizes, right? There's a big old bell over there that get invited in the morning. And then there's that big old bell there that is sitting in the hall. And we also have a bell hanging on a tree, that bell there, so there are many bells around. And there's the wind chimes also, and this bell. Yep, there's one there too. There's a hanging bell too. And so these bells, when they are invited to sound, they help us to come back to ourselves. Because usually our mind runs elsewhere. We may think about things, and we forget where we are. So when we hear the sound of the bell, we stop and we come back to our breathing. Just help us to remember where we are. We might be playing, we might be eating, we might be talking, we might be walking, but at the monastery, when we hear the sound of the bell, we stop for a moment and we come back to our breathing. We don't have to freeze. It's not like when you hear the bell and then you freeze. No, you hear the bell, you come back. You stand still or you sit down and you enjoy your breathing. So let us try, okay? So I'll invite the sound of the bell. And when you hear the sound of the bell, you follow your breathing. You can choose to put one of your hands or both hands on your belly. And you notice that when you breathe in, your belly inflates, right? And when you breathe out, it deflates, like a bicycle tire. It inflates and it deflates. It's very natural. We don't have to force it to inflate or to deflate. We just follow our breath. Okay, shall we try? And we can put a light smile on our face so we don't look too serious. Okay, we're not serious practitioners. We are joyful practitioners. Okay, we'll try. So I invite the bell to sound, and then we also ask our aunties and uncles and parents to help to support us by practicing with us too. So when we hear the sound of the bell, we come back to the breath, in and out, and smile until the sound fades away. Okay, we try one time. Ready? So we sit beautifully. We smile. We can choose to close our eyes or open them halfway. And just bring the mind to the breath. See where the breath comes in and the breath goes out. Okay, here comes the sound of the bell. Thank you for practicing. You know, when you feel upset, or when you feel angry at somebody, or when you feel restless, the sound of the bell can help you to calm down, to relax, to be more peaceful. So it's very helpful when you hear the sound of the bell. And while you're here for the next few days, try your best to practice. Stop, come back to your breath when you hear the sound of the bell. Now, somebody has to invite the bell, so somebody has to learn how to invite the bell. Wonderful. But let me share with you the instructions first, okay? So when you have a bell like this, you hold it in either your left or your right hand, and you hold it like this, okay? And if you are the person who invites the bell to sound, you are called a bell master, or maybe a bell inviter, a bell guardian, some kind of name. But that means you have to have a little bit of training, right? And so before you even invite the bell or pick it up, you come back to your breath. You breathe in and out 3 times to calm yourself. You might be just running in from the playground or something. You're all tired. And you don't want to be tired while you invite the bell. It will sound very, very bad. And so you calm yourself. You breathe in and out slowly 3 times. And then you pick the bell up with both hands, and then you place it in one hand. And then we have what is called the bell stick or bell inviter. So when we make the sound of the bell, we don't say, I am going to hit the bell, or I am going to strike the bell. We say, I am going to invite the bell to sound. You have a question?
If you can't wait to put on a bell, don't go like and breathe like that.
Right. Right. Yeah, if you don't calm yourself down, you will breathe like that. And then the bell will sound like that.
How do you know when to strike the bell or like invite the bell?
You will know after you breathe in and out 3 times. That's enough time for you to calm down. If you don't feel calm yet, you breathe a few more in-breaths and out-breaths until you're calm, okay? When you're calm, you know that you're ready to invite the bell. And so, when you're calm, what do we do again? We put the bell in one hand, and then we take up the inviter in the other hand. And we wake the bell. We do like this. That calls waking the bell up, because the bell might be sleeping. So we wake it up gently, and that means we just tap the stick and leave it on the edge of the bell. What that does is also to alert all of your friends, the people who are sitting around you, to know that there will be a full sound coming. Get ready. Because your friends might be thinking, might be singing or something, or having a conversation. And when you want the bell to sound, you wake the bell to remind everyone that I'm going to invite a full sound of the bell. Question?
Do not like go ding.
No, we don't. No, ding. So after you wake the bell and you see that everybody is ready to listen, then you invite a full sound of the bell, and it sounds like this. Oh wait, I forget. After you wake the bell up, you breathe again. You breathe one in breath and one out breath. You really give time for everyone else to get ready. So there's already 4 breaths, right? You breathe 3 in and out breaths, then you wake the bell, and then you breathe in and out one more time. Is that right? And then the full sound comes, so it will be like this. You think you can do it? Okay. We don't have time for all of you to try, maybe a couple of you. And then when you go out into your children program, you all have time to practice them. Maybe we can do ladies first. Is that all right? Would you like to yield to just one of you to represent all of the ladies? Maybe this lady, is that okay? 7. Okay. What is your name?
Madeline.
So Madeline is going to try. Okay. Okay, so everybody come back to your beautiful posture, and Madeline will be our bell master. So when we hear the bell, what do? We breathe, right? You wake, well, you wake first, remember? You breathe yet? In and out 3 times. Everybody help support Madeline. In and out 3 times. Whenever you're ready, you wake the bell up. Remember waking like this? Like that's called waking, okay? Ready? Go. Not bad, thank you. Okay, next. He's been raising his hand first, so let him try. And what is your name?
Daniel.
Daniel, are you sure you know how to do this? All right, we'll support you. Breathe first. Everybody help Daniel breathe in and out 3 times. Okay, and then you wake the bell, and then you breathe in and out once more. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Unfortunately, we are out of time. You have your program to do also, but I trust that in the children program you will have a bell, and then the brother and the sisters will continue to give you the practice. Is that okay? All right. Thank you so much for your presence. When we hear the small sound of the other bell, we all stand up, and then we face our parents and aunties and uncles. Yeah, let's do that first. When we hear one sound, we stand up. Okay, and then we join our palms together, and with the next sound, we bow to our parents and auntie and uncles. Thank you. And then you bring your cushions with you, And you can come out and join your program. Thank you again. So, dear community, let us enjoy 3 sounds of the big bell together. So, dear Thầy, dear community, good morning. Welcome to our second day of our retreat. We are in the Rising Tide Meditation Hall at Magnolia Grove Monastery. Today is August the 31st, 2023. And we are in the second segment of the US tour. We started at Blue Cliff in New York with 2 retreats. And it was such a joy to gather together and to celebrate, to practice, to work, to play together. And we continue here in Mississippi. As you know, since our teacher's illness and then his passing, and also with the pandemic, we were not sure if we were able to resume the US tour. But yet, here we are. It's so joyful to be together in this way. I feel like when we have a US tour like this, the lay community gets to gather in a larger number, and you get to benefit from the presence and the support of the larger monastic community of all 3 centers. And vice versa, the monastic community gets to experience and to share the practice with a larger lay community, and also benefit from and gain support from you. Moreover, we get a chance to visit one another and one another's monasteries, because most of us are on religious visas, and we only have a finite number of years to be in the U.S. And without a chance like this, we will never have the opportunity to experience the diversity of the American culture, its people, the landscapes, the climates. And so thank you for making it possible for us to travel. Back in New York, the last few weeks, the weather, I guess the climate has been kind of wet and rainy. There were some cool days and sunshine. And here in Mississippi, it's hot and humid, as we know. But the last few days also been quite pleasant. I can't wait what California will have in store for us when we're there. We'll find out. So we have 2 retreats here, this one and the next one, which is a health retreat, to celebrate. I remember our teacher used to say, when the Sangha gathers together, it's like a celebration, a festival. And I feel like that with the U.S. tour, when so many monastic gets to come together as a community, and the lay practitioners also come together as a lay community, and we support each other, we practice, we play, we work, we celebrate together. So I feel very much Thay's presence in a setting like this. Today, I would like to introduce to you, but let me ask first, how many of you here are first-timers? Can you raise your hand? Okay, thank you. I assume the rest have been to our retreats before. So this is nothing new to you. It's the practice of being aware of our breathing. Namely, is called the full awareness of breathing. It's a sutra that our teacher has translated and commented on them in a book called Breathe, You Are Alive. He went into detail of how to practice. So there are basically 16 exercises for mindful breathing, divided into 4 groups. The first set of 4 deals with the body, and then the second set deals with feelings. Third set deals with the mind, and the fourth deals with objects of mind. In this talk, we will explore the first 4, and then the latter 12 would be explored in the upcoming talks in this retreat. The best time to practice these exercises is during a sitting meditation session, for we're able to close all external distractions and be more focused. But nonetheless, it is possible to practice them in other positions, such as standing, walking, or lying down. Why? Because the focus is the breath, and the breath is always with us. As long as we are alive, we're breathing. And wherever we are, whatever position we're in, the breath is there, and so it's very easy for us to utilize it for the practice of cultivating awareness. So the first exercise is simply the awareness of your breath. This morning in our guided meditation session, Brother Pháp Chứng has guided us with these exercises, but in an extended version of these 4. So I like to write them on the board for you. So the first exercise is simply awareness of your breath. And we have two sentences. The first one is for the in-breath, and the second one is for the out-breath. And it goes like, breathing in, I am aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am aware of my out-breath. In and out. Let us practice together with the sound of the bell, please. Breathing in, I am aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am aware of my out-breath. In, out. Thank you. So we might see that when we bring our attention to the breath, we bring along our mind, our thinking mind, which might have been lost in thoughts. We bring it back to the body. Because there's a disconnect between the body and the mind. The body might be here, but then the mind might be elsewhere. But when we become mindful of our breath, the mind comes back. The mind joins the body joins the mind. There is a reconnection. The mind becomes an embodied mind. And the body becomes a mindful body. We are one, we are together. We are fully aware and alert. We are alive. Very simple, but very profound. The second exercise is following the breath. And the exercise, the first sentence for the in-breath is, breathing in, I follow my in-breath from the beginning to the end. And the second sentence for the out-breath, breathing out, I follow my out-breath from the beginning to the end. Following in-breath, following out-breath. Let us practice. Thank you. You might see that it's not easy to follow our in-breath because some of us might have shorter breath, some have longer breath. And so it is a practice. We might not succeed on the first try, but because it's a practice, we can try many times. And as you also notice, with the first exercise, we were cultivating the energy of mindfulness. And with the second set of exercise, we grow concentration. Because if we're able to maintain our attention on the breath, as it goes in, as it goes out, we are growing, cultivating the energy of concentration. And when there is mindfulness and concentration, insight manifests. And there are many types of insights that manifest during a session of meditation like this. One simple insight that might arise is that, I am alive. I am still here. What a wonderful feeling to be alive. Very simple. There are other insights that might arise as we continue to follow our breath and to concentrate on the breath. Do remember, though, it is not something that is forced. We don't force our attention onto the breath. We just let it occur naturally. If it goes away, we bring it back. No effort, no force. Another insight might arise, and that goes naturally into the third set of exercise. And that is the awareness of that we have a body. We know we have a body, but often we forget that we do. We might spend hours surfing on Facebook or some type of social media or watching TV, and we don't remember we have a body. The body just sit there on a couch for hours, and we forget. And so practicing meditation, mindfulness, reminds us that there is the body, and we need to connect with it. That how precious it is that we have a body, and we acknowledge its presence. And other insight might come is that the body is in a state of well-being. Maybe I'm feeling healthy. My feet are still strong, my lungs are still strong, my eyes are still strong, etc., etc. When we give rise to these appreciation, we are happy. Gratitude brings joy and happiness. Mindfulness brings joy and happiness. So we pay attention to the body. And what we might discover next naturally flows into the fourth set of exercise. And that is recognizing what is going on in the body. Is the body well or is it not well? And the fourth exercise encourages us to examine. Usually, if we neglect our body for so long, there's always tensions, aches and pains. So this exercise helps us to acknowledge these tensions, these aches and pains. So let us practice together the third and the fourth. The third exercise, breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I smile, acknowledging my whole body. Breathing in, I calm my whole body. Breathing out, I release the tensions from my body. Calming body, releasing tensions. Thank you. As we continue these practices, many more insights might surface. Just as when you have a clear sky after a storm or a calm lake, you'll be able to see many things and see things more clearer. One of the insights that might arise is that not only that we appreciate this body and its state of health, wherever it might be, we also appreciate what is happening outside of us, what's happening around us. And what might be happening around us is that we still have loved ones, we still have family, we still have friends who are in their own way supporting our well-being. And further out, nature is supporting our existence. The trees, the forests, the sun, the moon are still there for us. So everything around us plays a role in supporting our well-being. So that's a beautiful insight to cultivate. And of course, when we have that, we have gratitude. So these, we call them supportive conditions for our well-being or for our happiness. But we also have conditions that are not so supportive, challenges. And so meditation helps us to see that also. The forces that influence us both positively and negatively. And some of the not so supportive conditions are things like pressure from maybe from home, maybe pressure from work, pressure from school, or here it might be pressure from having to organize too many retreats, maybe overconsumption of news, of foods, etc. These put tension on the body and of course on the mind. And so when we recognize these forces, these conditions, we will know what to do. We will be able to recognize what the supportive conditions are, and we want to nurture them, we want to cultivate them. And those that are not so supportive of our well-being, we learn to transform them and not to cultivate them. And this naturally brings to the recognition of our habits. Habits play a big role in our lives. And when we come to practice, I feel like one of the main objectives is to take up the practice of mindfulness and to cultivate them, to grow awareness so that we can actually be able to recognize what our habits are. Both positive and negative, both beneficial and unbeneficial. And then we can do something about it, because habits are what drive us, what influence us. But they start with something very small. We can call them the potentials. And from potentials, when the conditions are there, when they're fed, they become tendencies, and tendencies becomes habits. And once their habit is very difficult to change. So I sort of write that on the board here. When they are habits, they manifest in what we call action, and that's the action of the body, action of speech, and action of mind. So it's either bodily action, speech, or thoughts. These are the things that continue us. These are the things that reincarnates, if you want to use that term. That's how we are being continued by our action of thought, of speech, and of physical action. In Buddhism, we also use the term seeds. If you've listened to our teacher's talks, he has an image of the mind as a field. And all the potentials in our consciousness can be considered as seeds in that field. And there's all kinds of seeds, beneficial, unbeneficial, wholesome, unwholesome, positive, negative, whichever categories you want to use. And from seeds, when they are conditioned, meaning when they are watered by conditions, they become energies. And we use the term habit already here. So they become habit energies. That's similar to tendency, that we are ready to manifest into action. So if we don't practice, these things happen anyway, and they influence our life. And others also influence these, because we're so passive, we don't do anything. Or if we try, we don't have a way, we don't have a method to do. But when we practice mindfulness, we're able to intervene, because we have the awareness of what these seeds are to a certain extent, and we can do something about it. For example, if we have say a beneficial habit, if you have a habit of always smiling when you see a little baby or a puppy or a kitten, that's a very nice habit to have, right? Because it brings you happiness. And so if you see a baby and you smile, so that smile is a condition. It will reinforce your potential, or it water the seed of joy and happiness in you, and that seed becomes larger. And so you have a habit energy of smiling when you see little things, babies, puppies, kittens. And then your action naturally becomes beneficial. You will say something kind to the little baby. You will have kind thoughts to the little baby. Maybe you can ask to pick the baby up. Things like that. Or if you have another beneficial habit, say if you have a habit of walking mindfully, then it might start with a seat. Maybe you go to a retreat, or you've gone to a retreat and you learn about mindful walking. So that's a little seed that's sown in your consciousness, and you start to practice. And if you come to a retreat, you have 5 days of walking mindfully, it becomes a tendency, it becomes a habit energy. And so it's very easy for you to, every time you start walking mindfully. But we forget. And then you see someone walking outside mindfully. That is a condition, a reminder. It watered that seed in you again. And so it's natural for you to remember to start walking mindfully again. And when you walk mindfully, the seed of mindful walking becomes larger. And so it becomes easier, it becomes a habit. It becomes very beneficial for your practice. Let us try like an unbeneficial habit. Say if you're prone to being angry, and we all been there. We all have a seed of anger in us, maybe small, and then someone says something, maybe even in our childhood, that trigger that seed of anger, we become angry. And as we grow up, similar things are said to us over and over. So it grows larger, and this becomes larger, and then the action, we just explode. We must do things, say things, or even think things that are harmful to ourselves and others. Maybe a habit of always being late. It becomes a habit. And I guess we've all been there too. Maybe we start out by just being late one time, and then if nobody said anything, we'll be late again. It's okay. People will wait for me. So we reinforce that cycle to the point where it becomes habitual lateness. You can never be on time. We know that the seeds or these potentials, some of them are already there when we're born, but some are acquired, either from home, school, society, circle of friends, many different ways that sow these seeds into our mind consciousness. And if we're not aware, those seeds will grow. The good ones, then we are happy, and then if the bad ones grow, then we suffer. Let us enjoy the sound of the bell. Well, luckily there is a practice that we can do to handle these seeds, and we can approach it from the standpoint of habits or action, or we can approach it from the standpoint of the potentials or the seeds. They are called the 4 diligences. I think they also go by another name, but this is the one that I found. And they're very simple. The first one is, let us approach it from the seeds standpoint. If a beneficial seed has already manifested, that means they're happening, then we do our best to keep them going. We continue the conditions for them to last longer. Of course, we know things are impermanent. They will one day dissipate, but we try our best to nurture them, to keep them longer. Just like if you have a very good friend that comes to you, you want to keep your friend with you for a long time. And then the second is, if that beneficial seed has not manifested, we try to water them so that they will manifest. We create conditions for them to manifest so that we can enjoy their nourishment. And then the third one is for the not so beneficial seeds, the unbeneficial seed. If they're already there, then we recognize the conditions that keep them there and not continue those conditions so that they will naturally disappear. And the fourth is, if they had not yet manifested, don't give them conditions to manifest. Don't water the seed, their seed, so that they won't manifest. It's very easy, but it takes a little effort to practice. I think there is also like a fifth way, and that is for the unbeneficial seed that has already manifested. I think a good way to help transform them is to actually develop an opposite seed. For example, if you're always late and it's very difficult to transform, why not make the vow to practice always be early? Not just on time, but early. And I think they said habits take 21 days, right, to form. So that's a big effort to try to transform an unbeneficial habit into a beneficial one. So just by practicing these first 4 sets of exercises, we can learn so much. We can learn so much about ourselves and the world around us. And once we are aware, we will learn to take better care of ourselves and the world around us. And we learn to protect ourselves and the world around us. I do have one point to share with the teenagers. We have some of you in the room. I would encourage you to practice, of course, 4, but also especially the 3rd and the 4th, because you know, as a teenager, there are a lot of changes in your body. Your body itself changes too, and so it's very difficult. It's very challenging. So please acknowledge these changes, accept them, and be patient. Be patient with these changes. Everybody has to go through the teenage years, and you are in the middle of it. So please learn to be patient with yourselves. Learn to take care of yourselves. Learn to accept. Learn to respect, and be kind to your body. A note to the parents of the teenagers: please do the same. Please be patient of the changes that your teen have to go through, and be there to support them as they go through these changes. We know the quality of our lives depends on the quality of the potential. Depends on the types of the seed that we cultivate, that we actively cultivate. Because if we don't, someone else will cultivate for us. It will be in passive. The not so positive seeds will get watered by others and we suffer. And so, know these seeds and choose wisely so that your life can be joyful and can be happy. And by extension, you spread happiness and joy to others. Thank you for your listening. We will hear 3 sounds of the bell.